Have you ever purchased bare roots in a bag before? I have only a few times before this, and I was completely clueless. But thanks to Yuliya of Y-Garden YouTube channel, she put out a very helpful and informative video on what to do when you buy the bare roots in a bag, and I will link her video. Okay, so I picked up some bare roots at a big box store, and I was just holding on to these guys, and I was going, we had not moved yet, but I was going the following week and was just keeping them in the garage and was going to plant them at the new property when I got there. After watching her video, I went and got all of them and started opening them up so I could either wet their roots or go ahead and get them in a pot if they had broken dormancy. And lo and behold, here's the white Astilbe. It had broken dormancy. So of course I need to get it in a pot and watered down. Again, thanks to Yuliya. Oh my goodness. I just couldn't believe it. I was so appreciative of her video. I couldn't get over it. So here's the purple Astilbe. And here we go. Yes, it had broken dormancy as well, and Lily of the Valley. So all of the bare roots I had picked up had broken dormancy. Now I had this pot sitting out beside my breezeway that I had cleaned out, getting ready for the move, and so but it was ready to go. So I got lucky in that regard. So I just started getting them all in the pot and getting them watered in. And thanks to her video, she also said if they have broken dormancy and you get them in a pot, you get a head start. So this was wonderful, and how right she was, because that's February 25th. And here is April 4th when I was going to get them planted. Look how much they had grown, and one of the white ones was already blooming. And I had forgot I had a hosta in this pot, so it was just living along with the Astilbe. So I'm going to get that out of there as well. Now this is where I wanted to plant the Astilbe, in that brick little bed there, but those shrubs in front of it have to go first. But that is the bed right there within the bricks that I want to put the Astilbe, because it doesn't get a whole lot of sun, and I thought that would just be beautiful if they would fill that area in. So I removed the shrubs, you guys, and it took me less than 10 minutes to get them out. They were, I think the winter storm really did them in. They were just brittle and super easy to get out. I got very lucky in that. So I did amend this soil with some flower tone, organic flower tone. It's by Spoma, but I'm not sponsored. And I just used the soil that was already in there, you guys, and I just amended it with that before I started planting the Astilbe. And I didn't have my water hose yet, so I have my bucket sitting there because that's how I'm going to water them in once I get them planted. I have to use my bucket. My water hose was buried under a million things after the move. And here they are, they're all in there. And I hope they just fill that in, and they'll just look spectacular if they like their home there. And so far, they're doing really well. Now the lily of the valley in this pot, you guys, I am not sure. I do see like one good bud on it, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to make it. But I will be taking that hosta out in later video and planting it in the bed in front of that brick planter, as a matter of fact. So here we are, and I've got to do a lot of weed control around here. Again, this property was just maintained for the past 9 years as best as possible, and there's just a ton of work we have to do. And then, you guys, I have all kinds of ivy that is growing on the house. I have got to get rid of that. I do want to use some of it, but it is just terrible on the house, and you can see where they had removed it before they put it on the market, and it just took all the paint off the shutters. But I'm going to be repainting those shutters, so I'm not too sad about that happening, but that's got to go. Those shrubs have to go because they impede on that tiny walkway there. You can't even use the walkway. You can't even walk on it to get past those shrubs. But I did take some of the ivy and I cut it off and put it in my pots because I love to grow ivy in these pots. And I've had these pots for about 7 years now. But that was an experiment, and just cutting it and putting it in the pot, spoiler alert, it didn't work. So I got me some new cuttings, and I'm trying to root them in water and windowsill in the house. So once those root, then I'll put them back in the pot, and then they should do well. But I was like, oh, free ivy. I won't have to go pick any up because I've got it growing right here in my yard. But I wanted to give you guys an update on the tulips before I ended this video. They did bloom. Not all of them came up, but enough to just make me smile. Those pink impression tulips are just beautiful. I was so happy they came up. It was just a great sight to see. And then on a week later, the pink impressions started fading. Some of the white ones were coming up, and some of the daffodils that I planted. Now, all of the daffodils were not the pink daffodils, so I was a little disappointed in that because I didn't really want yellow, but it ended up looking, you know, as pretty as it could for me rushing and forgetting about these bulbs. So I was happy with how that turned out. But then I discovered, you guys, these gorgeous daffodils, and I do not know what kind they are. So if you do, please let me know. They were blooming inside the secret garden and just spectacular. I would love to have more of those naturalized. Those were just stunning. They weren't like your regular daffodil. I wish I would have gotten a closer photo of that, but I didn't. Now over here in this same bed, I had some hyacinth bulbs that I forced inside in the rental house before we moved, and they were all spent, so I also went and planted them out there with the tulips. So they're out there now. And this is where I planted some random mascari bulbs and yellow tulips, and they didn't like that pot. I still don't have any blooms in that. And then, of course, you guys know I'm going to give you a pool update. It's just one of the things I do. But the pool is looking fantastic. My pool maintenance man, which is my husband, is doing an amazing job. So it's sparkly blue. It's been repaired completely. Everything's going great. Now we don't have a water fill on this pool, so our solution is we have this long water hose that runs from the back of the house, and we kind of hold it down with this log. I mean, that's as easy as it gets. So that's how we add water to the pool right now. But my husband is going to put a water spigot in, so we won't have to do that for much longer. But yes, sparkly blue, looking great. He has worked so hard on that. I'm so happy. Yeah, there's our water fill-in system. But our next project, besides what I'm already working on in the front, is getting those shrubs removed. Those other shrubs in the front, is we have to tackle this back, and we are going to take the pool area beds and the grass around it inside the fence. We're just going to take it down to bare and start from scratch. And of course that palm tree is dead, so that thing has to definitely go, but we're going to take everything out. I'm not salvaging anything. So I'll leave you of this photo I captured of the pink impression tulips at sunrise on March 21st. It was absolutely a gorgeous sunrise and beautiful morning. So I hope this video has found you well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.